product we use very often called Teflon. It's those
non-stick pans.
Non-stick pans.
Oh.
The factory where that chemical was developed by DuPont, initially to armorize tanks for World War, they had a very high incidence of women with endocrine problems and endocrine disorders, including fertility and cancer. The chemical process that forms Teflon is highly controversial and damaging to the female system. So if your mother uses that kind of pot from the early years, she's setting you up for endocrine problems as you go into adulthood. Hence, when an adult now shows up with things like fibroids or even infertility, the sad part is the system that is conventional doesn't take time to go into this historical background and then step into what do we need to look for in the body and clear out of the system that may be interfering with the body's normal perfection in its hormonal setup. This allows me to bring in the other perspective that God created a perfect system. Everything from conception to the childbirth, it's a perfect system where everything works well. And now the voice of my grandmother comes in. My grandmother used to cry out so many times when I was a little child, hearing her, what is going on today? The daughters of today are having all these pains with their cycles, all these issues. Because she saw the loss of that perfection to this imperfection. And the saddest part is today, in fact, society thinks fibroids is the norm. Society thinks infertility is not too far from being a norm, or low fertility. Society thinks feminine problems, whether it's dysmenorrhea, painful menstruation, is the norm. So we've turned the abnormal into the accepted norm. And to double that sadness, the medical system of today prizes in the abnormal being the norm. Oh, it's just normal to have painful menses. Oh, it's normal to have fibroids, you're a black woman. Oh, it's normal to have this. Let me pause.